Hi there everyone. So this video will be a tutorial on how to join your Google Meets classroom. You should have received a link either via email or through a Google Calendar invite, either or, both will be sent. From here, you do not have to have a Gmail account. If you do, that's great. You can still follow along with this, but this is also for the individuals that don't have a Google account. So, I prefer that you go into Google Chrome. Of course, you can use Internet Explorer, Safari, Firefox. However, Google Chrome is the best because of the settings that it will provide, and it'll make it very obvious what you need to do. You don't have to enable cookies or anything like that. So, with Google Chrome, you'll just go on to google.com. It might already open up there. That's completely fine. You will then copy and paste the link you would have received either via the Google Meets calendar invite or just the via email that your instructor would have given you. But you'll just go up to the search bar, you'll paste it, and then you'll select enter. Now, as you can see, I am on an entirely different screen. As you can see up at the top, it says guest up here. I am not logged into any Gmail account. Now, if you are logged in, it will have your name already here. You don't have to type it in. But for someone who does not have a Google account, you will have to type in your name. So just go ahead and make sure to type in your name. I'll type mine here. And then you will ask to join. Now, before you do that, there's two things that you need to make sure of. Now, when you open this screen, you may have had a little box that showed up here at the top near the search bar engine. It should have asked you if you want to allow your microphone and camera to be used. You need to select yes to that. The reason this occurs is it needs to give permission for Google Chrome and Google Meet specifically to have access to your camera. My camera's covered up right now, so you can't see anything on the screen, but my camera is on and so is my mic. Before you join, make sure to mute. The reason being is if you join a meeting and you're not muted, everyone in the meeting can hear you, what's going on around you, and there may even be reverb. This is what happens when maybe you're using your computer to hear things and you don't have earphones in, which is completely fine. You don't have to have headphones or earphones. But when you don't, sometimes it'll cause reverb because if someone else is unmuted and they're experiencing the same thing, then you'll hear yourself and it'll just echo back and forth. So it's always best to mute yourself. Keep your camera on. The reason being is if you are a part of an ASL class, which I hope that's why you're watching this video. If not, hello, you can still use this video. But leave your camera on and it'll show you an actual preview of what you'll look like. So that way you can adjust your camera. For an ASL class, it's imperative that you keep your camera on. If you ever have to step away or you need to turn off your camera, you can just click the camera button. It will still be there when you join in the meeting. It'll just be in a different spot, but just keep that in mind. So leave your camera on, mute yourself, type in your name, and then ask to join. Now, if you're already signed in, it'll give you the option to just join. So I'm going to ask to join here. Now, since you don't have a Google account, it's going to ask the instructor to let you in. All right, so you've been let into the class. Remember, and also it sees right now that I'm talking, but my mic is off according to Google. So make sure you're muted. Make sure your camera's on. This button right here that has a square with CC is closing captions. This is great to turn on. Your ASL instructor will not be speaking. However, your other classmates may have a question. If you'd like to turn on the closing captions, it will actually capture what they say and have their name beside it. So I'm just going to see, can I unmute myself and talk? There we go. So now that I'm unmuted, you can see that I'm the one talking and that it's captioning now. So that's the great thing, and you can always turn it off. It does move the cameras up, so just keep that in mind. All right, you don't have to worry about the present now button. Just ignore that. And I know that I'm muted, Google. But the biggest thing to keep in mind is this is a visual class if you're taking ASL. So you want to make sure that the cameras are set up right so that way you're able to see the teacher to the best of your abilities. The way you do this and the way we recommend is you click these three dots that say more options and you'll click change layout. From here, I always select sidebar. The reason being is the presenter or the instructor will be the main focus of the presentation. Now, the reason why I say sidebar is because when you click that, it will show you and your other classmates on the screen. That is just in case maybe you guys are doing sentences or group activities or anything like that. That way you guys can see each other, and you can also see your instructor very clearly on the screen. The instructor always takes up the majority of the screen. Of course, there are other options, such as the tiled format. That's what I was in before, where it gets smaller and smaller, as you can see. Or you can do spotlight, so whoever's talking will be the main one. You can always see yourself, but no one else can if they have this on their screen. So again, I always recommend sidebar. Again, if you need to ask a question, I would always recommend, since you have your camera on, to raise your hand and wave it a little bit. So if you have a question, you can also type it in the chat. There's a chat function off to the side here. And you can just say, I have a question. And then everyone will receive this response. And then your instructor can let you know to go ahead, either by doing a gesture, typing it in the chat, something like that. And then you'll just unmute yourself. And as you can see, since I'm talking, it actually lights up. This is when you know that you're actually unmuted and talking. So I'm going to mute myself again. And I think that is about it. Once class is done, you will just click the leave call button, and it will end the call. You will receive a new link every single week, so that way you can join the classes. And make sure, again, to mute before you join and to turn on your camera. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to make an interpreted video for anyone who needs this in ASL very, very soon. But you should be able to see the captions below as well. Have a great day.